What's up YouTube, I'm Dev. So a few days ago, I uploaded a post on Reddit of a 3D print that I made and it absolutely blew up. It blew up on two of the largest 3D printing communities. And of course it is this Harry Potter staircase. It is absolutely gorgeous. And that got me thinking, quite a few of you like 3D printing and quite a few of you like Harry Potter. So I was like, maybe there's quite a few people like me who like both 3D printing and Harry Potter. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the best Harry Potter prints that you can have, ideally in time for Christmas because that is just around the corner. And there's genuinely prints for everyone in this video. There's gonna be stuff that's gonna blow your friends and family's mind, or just some simple stuff because, you know, we are close to Christmas, maybe you're tired, but I'm gonna show you a few prints that are basic, but they are still very magical and gonna add to your household. So let's get straight into the video. Okay, and first up we have this Hogwarts Bauble. Look how great this thing looks. This thing is actually detailed enough that you can actually make out the design of Hogwarts, but simple enough that it actually works for a bauble design. I think the designer done a great job balancing the two. I actually printed this in the beige filament. I think it only took around 2 hours as well, which means it's really quick. You guys can definitely do it. It doesn't take a lot of filament. And if you guys are curious to which exact type of filament I use, I'm gonna link everything down below in the description. But man, there's nothing more to say to this. This was actually really easy to assemble as well. It was actually only printed in 2 parts and then you have to join them together. It didn't even require glue. It was just like the tolerance cuts, so it just sort of sticks together as well. And of course, I did end up putting a silver string around it. I thought it made the most sense. So check out what it looks like on an actual Christmas tree. I think it looks even more magical when it's actually surrounded by other ornaments and of course LED lights. It ends up looking like Hogwarts at night. And yeah, such an easy print, such an easy win. Now let's get on to the second print. And for our second print, we have the sorting hat. Yes, you heard that right. The sorting hat from Harry Potter. To me, this model is absolutely insane. Like the detail on it as well. This thing looks so realistic with the folds. The designer done a great job on the cloth mechanics. Even here, like the only part that tells it's a 3D print is the contour lines here, but you have to look really close to it. I think this thing is great. Like I said, the detail on it's fantastic. It's actually something that every Harry Potter fan wants. And it's also a really nice size. It's not too big, it's not too small. So it is something you can just leave in your corner. And one of the best things about this is the fact that the designer gave a base so you can actually attach a light to it, an LED. I will show you what that looks like in a second. So I don't actually have the official Bamboo LEDs, but I do have these candle lights from Bamboo. So I'm just gonna stick this here instead. And now let's see how this looks like with it on. To me, that looks pretty cool indeed. I mean, look at that. He definitely looks a little bit more evil with these flashing lights. Looks a little bit like Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas, but I do have one of these lights, which will definitely fit underneath it. Maybe not with that base. And look how great this thing looks with the lights on, like the detail on the folds and the hat and everything. Super happy with this print. This thing looks awesome. It's definitely adding a darker vibe to Christmas, but I'm all for it. The designer done an amazing job on this. Personally, I prefer it just how it looks, like without any LED. And in terms of how long it took to print, I think it took around 18 hours. It is quite a long print. I think the entire base of this part and here is almost 100% infill. That's because the support was also quite chunky. The support was actually quite tough to get off, as you can see in the assembly video, which I'm going to show in a bit. But this model is quite sturdy. Nice. First peel, the rest should be okay. Ow! I cut myself with the support there. Nice. The best I can on that side. And yeah, you can even wear it as a hat. Maybe if you've got a cousin or a nephew or a sibling that's quite a bit younger, it would actually be the ideal size for them. I've got quite big hair, but I mean, this model is great. So now that you've seen it with an LED, let me know if your preference is the same as mine. I actually prefer it without the lights. I think having the eyes and the mouth just purely based on the shadows like the movie looks a little bit more original, and I think it just looks a little bit better. I think when you have light shining through it, it does look a little bit more like a Halloween decoration, which means you can use this on Halloween as well. But yeah, like I said, I think the designer done an amazing job with the model and how realistic the cloth looks. Let's get into the third model. And for our third print, we have this model of Hogwarts. Look how nice this thing looks. This is like an architectural model of Hogwarts. You feel a little bit like Dumbledore in that you can see everything that's going on in Hogwarts. But yeah, this thing only took 3.5 hours to print. And I also really like the size of this model. So it's big enough that you can actually see some of the detail in there. Definitely the master plan elements on there, but not big enough that it's going to take up your entire living room. And this is also shelf size, so you can actually put it anywhere you want. But the thing that makes this even better, and this is a bonus print, is that another person in the comments of this model actually designed a base for it. And the intention of this base is that you can post lights for this model here, so it's gonna look even better, and I'm gonna show you exactly what that looks like now. So here you can see the model with LED lights. It looks even more magical. Definitely like this. These LED lights aren't even that expensive. I think I got them for like £5 on Amazon. They're battery operated. It's a simple addition to this model, but it definitely elevates how nice it looks. And one of the best things is it makes it look a bit more Christmassy. And another cool thing the designer of this model done was they actually ended up drilling the holes in this Hogwarts part. So whenever there's a main building here, so the cylinders or the hall, they end up drilling through it. So that way, when the lights are on, you can actually see a bit more out of it. I didn't do that because I couldn't actually find the drilling time for this video, but I'm pretty sure this guy done it better than me anyway. But yes, for a 3.5 hour print, I think this thing is absolutely worth it. Now let's get on to the fourth print, and this is probably my favorite one in the video yet, and you're gonna see why. And here is the fourth model. Look how sick this looks. This thing looks absolutely gorgeous. I am so proud of this print and the assembly of it itself. It was a little bit finicky. I did have a little bit of troubles of this, which I will explain later on, but in terms of the print quality and the final model, man, I could not be happier. This is something that you'd actually end up buying in the store for like £50, maybe even £100 in some stores, but you can actually just 3D print it yourself, and you're so proud when you assemble it. The actual print itself wasn't that bad in terms of the time. I think it only took like 12 hours, 15 if you add the track. So the track here is different. It is a little bit modular as well. So if you do want to add a curved part afterwards, the designer has included that in a profile, so you can set up the environment how you want. But look how gorgeous this thing looks. I'm so happy with it. You know what, you guys need to see this even closer. Cue up the B-roll. One thing I'm not the biggest fan of with this print is the way the designer has these little like pins that you're gonna chuck in the side of the train here and then attach the wheels. I guess this is one way of doing it, but the thing is that when either this part doesn't print properly, or this part doesn't print properly, or the wheels don't print properly, the tolerance is just way too tight for these wheels, and I don't even know how to like stick some of them in. If the print isn't perfect, these aren't gonna go in, and then you're just gonna end up snapping some pieces, which I've done before. So look at this. If you put a brim on a piece like that, look at the edge. How is that gonna actually attach? Yep. This one is just, and look at this one's just broken it, so I'm gonna have to reprint this piece. Like I said, this is just one thing that I think designers need to get a little bit more aware of with the tolerances on these pieces. Yeah. I've actually reprinted these here, so I will show you them in a second, but let's attempt to fix it again. Okay, so we're back on the table. We've waited a few hours. We've got the train wheels that are now glued and dry. Same with this track and the base, and same with the main train, of course. Look how great this looks. I'm so glad I didn't give up. It's looking super clean. I can't wait till it's all assembled. Hopefully in just an hour or so it will be dry and glued together. And this is me being picky with the way the model is being assembled. In terms of the final quality, I have no doubt that you guys are going to be impressed with this. It was just the fact that because I've done quite a few assembling of models recently for different Harry Potter models and different models altogether, I know that there should be a little bit more tolerance forgiveness, and there really wasn't that much in this printer. So if you are wanting to print this model, then please make sure you clean your print bed, you make sure everything's printed fine, especially for the support pieces. So I believe that was the fourth print. Let's go into the fifth one now. Also, if you guys are interested in the candy cane in the background, or these presents that I 3D printed, which act as storage boxes, then check out my last video because I go over the best Christmas prints of December. Let me know if you guys enjoy it. You might find something you enjoy, and let's get straight back into the video. And you know you can't have a Harry Potter video without mentioning the golden snitch, and that's exactly what the next print is. Look at this golden snitch bauble. To me, the colors on this are absolutely gorgeous. Like, the gold goes so well on this bauble. And the thing is, I think this thing only took around an hour or an hour and a half to design, so it isn't long, and it really is like superb. Like, the fact that when you see this on a Christmas tree, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It sticks out. It's actually like a perfect size. It's big enough that it's visible on a Christmas tree, but it's small enough that it's not overpowering, and when someone sees it, it does actually remind them of the golden snitch. Definitely a great design. And the only thing to note is that these wings don't move. They're actually part of the Bauble design that's fixed, but it's a very simple design. The fact that you can print it in 1.5 hours explains a lot. And I of course did attach this gold string here. So these colored threads, I actually get a pack of 4. I think they're great for 3D prints. I'm gonna link them down below in the description as well. So I think they come in gold, silver, red and green. So whenever I have these different baubles, as you saw with the previous Hogwarts one, I have a color for everything. And of course this one suited gold. And as I mentioned before, a 1.5 hour print. This and the Hogwarts castle, man, you guys are sorted for a very quick Harry Potter Christmas. And I'm actually not done with the golden snitch yet, because I actually did print a second model, and that's this one here. You can see that when you move this slightly, it starts flapping and it looks really real, right? Like the actual wings are flapping like as it does in the movie. This is actually quite smart as well. The person created a wing that has these fins so they can actually contract and expand, and they're flexible in the direction. So the moment you move your golden snitch a little bit, which either way, it does look like the wings are flapping. And on camera and even in real life, it does have a very cool like effect. Like it seems like a very light, realistic wing. To be honest, I think the wings are a little bit too big for my personal preference. I do actually prefer the actual size. I do actually prefer the size of the golden snitch here, but I prefer the size of the wings on the Bauble one. However, I feel like if you have a younger sibling or cousin or kid just around you on Christmas, this might be a fun gift for them, because like I said, it does move and it does seem really interactive. And yeah, you know, let the mind. Oh well, time for our next model, which is also going to be our last. So last but definitely not least, we of course have the Harry Potter book nook. If you guys haven't actually seen the Reddit post that I had, then this book nook is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it is probably the best 3D print I have ever done, and I'm not even joking about that. The reactions that it gets in real life when I show it at parties, and how proud I am of myself when I built it. Like, you wouldn't even believe it's a 3D print, that's the thing. The designer done such an amazing job, and don't get me wrong, this thing took a while to assemble. The printing part wasn't even that bad, right? It's just the assembly of it as well. You know, you have to end up cutting all these individual photos manually, printing them onto, and then cutting out all these individual frames, sticking them together, assembling it to the wall. But then even these other things, such as like adding these little lamps in there, and then adding the LED fairy light. And if you guys aren't bothered to build a complicated book nook, then I totally feel you. I'm feeling the same way right now. So that's why I found this platform 9 3/4 Harry Potter book nook, right? This one is a lot more simpler. I don't even think you need an AMS. It might help a little bit if you do, but the color swaps are very minimal, and so is this bookcase. It's more of a silhouette one. I think it only takes like an hour and a half to print in general. And yeah, the effect of it is really clean, really good. You can't really go wrong with it with a 1.5 hour print. Of course, it doesn't compare to the 3D book nooks, but I mean, it's probably, I'm not even joking, 100 times less effort to do this one. To see if you guys enjoy it or not. The only thing I would say about this profile is that because it's so thin, it might break, especially where the color part changes. Like, it's really flimsy here. So that's the only thing I can say. I've noticed this when I was thinking about transporting it from my house to my girlfriend's house, but that's it. And that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which prints were your favorite, and also let me know if you're going to try any of these prints that I recommended. I am genuinely curious. And also, if you have any feedback for me as a smaller content creator, then please let me know, whether it's something that I'm doing well or whether it's something that I'm doing bad. I genuinely want to know. Subscribe if you enjoyed. I do hope to see you in the next video. Cheers. This was Dev. Take care.